Alright, welcome back. So I am going to go through here all the cards that either are new cards that are rotating in or cards that have changed. So I'm going to start here with neutral and I'm going to work my way to the classes. So cards that are going to rotate in, you can see here, you can check on playhearthstone.com. They have your core changes. So card number 1 that's changing, Stone Tusk Boar. So this card is boring, it loses charge, it gains rush and +1 attack. For Arena, that's a buff, it's still a 1-star card. Just not a card you really want. We go down through here, some more cards that are rotating in. Here's a new card, Fogsail Freebooter. Battle cry, if you have a weapon equipped, deal 2 damage. So compare this to Toxicologist. Toxicologist is a bad card in most classes. In Rogue, this is a lot better. In Warrior, this is a lot better. Like in Rogue, this would be probably a 2-star card. In Warrior, this would probably be a 1-star card. In all of the classes, this is probably going to be, it's a 0-star card. Just you don't want to take it. But it's a pirate and it does damage. So we take a look here. We go through here. Well, Toxicologist is still... I don't know where Toxicologist was. I forgot Toxicologist was actually still in core. All right, so you see, so they're both together and they both remain here. All right, so going through here, another change. Flesh-Eating Ghoul. This goes from a 2/3 to a 3/3. When a minion dies, gain 1 attack. This doesn't really change it for Arena, it just means it's a little bit better on an empty board. Its value was in the fact that it could snowball, so the card itself, it doesn't really change. It's, I'm just double checking here, I have my thing here. Yeah, it's a 2-star card, so not much you need to deal with there. Okay, that's rotating in, not changing, not changing, not changing, not changing. Mini-Mage here. This used to be 4 mana 4/1, now it's a 3 mana 3/1. This is a worse Jungle Panther for all intents and purposes in Arena. So this is not a Mini-Mage. This is not a good card. This is probably going to be a 0-star card in Arena. Just because, number 1, because of how weak it is. Number 2, because it doesn't have the attack necessary. Like, it being a 3 mana 4/1 would make it probably roughly equal to Jungle Panther. Alright, cards rotating back in. I'm just going to point this out. Stone Skin Basilisk. This is probably the best neutral, non-legendary neutral that's coming back to Arena. And this is going to really, really change. Because one thing I pointed out, I didn't point out here, is that if you take a look at the cards here, the 2 drops are pretty low. But the average 4 drop, 5 drop, 6 drop, 7 drop, 8 drop, these are pretty high. And this is kind of like the counter. Because I think Blizzard, one thing they're doing is that they don't want any more War Golems. They don't want any Boulder Fist Ogres cards that are theoretically good mana for good stats for its mana. So this is kind of like an Arena version to deal with that. So I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but it's going to work as a counter, and it's going to make sure that low cards still have. The fact that this card exists means that if you have low cards on the board, you can handle this. So I think this is actually a good change for Arena. BGH, going from 5 to 4 doesn't really change it all that much. It's still going to be probably like, it's going to be a 2-star card just because I think Arena is going to get heavier. But the things that have 7 or more attack, there just really isn't all that much. So like if the swing happens, cool, but I don't think it's going to really happen. We go through here, Defender of Argus. It got buffed. This is how it was. Initially, it was like this, and then it got nerfed to 2/3. And now, because the power level has just increased so much, it's back up to a 3/3. The card itself, I think it doesn't really change the card that much. It makes it better, but I think Defender of Argus overall, it's going to be about a 3-star card probably. All right, cards coming in here. Grubashi Berserker. This is a 1 health doesn't change it. It's still a 0-star card. Overlord Runthark. Rush. Whenever this attacks, gives +1/+1 to all minions in your hand. This is a 3-star card. Like, just a 5 mana 3/6 Rush is fine by itself. Like, that would be probably about Yeti levels, I would say. The hand buff mechanic, especially if you're using this to clean up tokens, this is one of those cards that if you're it can very, very easily snowball. And it's one of those cards you absolutely have to remove. That makes it really dangerous. And in Arena where tempo used to be king, I'm not sure if it's still going to be king, I just imagine this card is going to be really powerful. We got the other neutral legendary here. Talon Forging, Taunt, Divine Shield, Death Rattle, draw your highest cost minion. So 5 mana 3/3 Taunt Divine Shield. There was Psychotron, which was 3/4, and that was a fine card. This draw your highest cost minion. Drawing anything is really powerful. So I think honestly this is going to be uh, probably a 3-star card as well. I think this is probably going to be what the average card is going to be in your deck. Cairn. Cairn got tired of getting power crept by neutral cards, so now it's a 5/5, and it's going to be so both ends are 5/5s just because the what was the card before? Okay, so the Sky Stalker, and then before that it was Eccentric Scribe. Both of those cards basically power crept on Cairn. So now Cairn and Bane, they're back with a vengeance. And so now this moves it up. This probably moves it up to 4 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. Like right around that range, I would say. Like, let me see here. Yeah, actually it's 4 because Sky Stalker's 4. This is better than Sky Stalker a little bit, so it's 4. All right. Let's see here. Still around. White Mane. Her mana cost went down. Her stats went down with her. That just makes her combo a lot easier to pull off. So I think White Mane that's going to be a 4-star card just because she was already like a borderline 3 to 4-star card by herself, but now it'll be easier to pull off her combo. Let's see here, Baron Geddon. At the end of your turn, so Baron Geddon got a 2 health increase here. That moves Baron Geddon up to a 4-star card. Like, really, you took Baron Geddon because of this. Deal 2 damage to all other characters. The 5 or 7 was not that much of an issue. Its power wasn't baked in that much, but just because it's going to be harder to remove, it's going to be a more powerful card. Okay, Baron Stablehand. This got a buff, but I think, so summon a random beast. So, because it says summon a random beast, remember that there are a lot of powerful beasts. There are Twilight Runners. There are, what's the one? The Taunt. I forget. It's the 5 mana 4/5 Taunt for Druid and Hunter. I forget the name off the top of my head. There's the Lake Thresher, the 5 mana 4/6 that has Cleef. So there's a lot of pretty powerful beasts in here. So honestly, the stats here, it doesn't really change it all that much. I still think it's like only a 1-star card, but I don't, just because of the randomness of summoning a random beast. But it's one of these things where, like, if it summons a Basilisk, you're happy. If it summons a Mukla, you're happy. Actually, I might have underrated this. This might be 2 or 3 stars now, just because there are so few bad beasts. Like, really, your bad beast is going to be probably a Stone Tusk War. A Direwolf Alpha is okay. A Croc is bad. Like, I'm just taking a look here. Mukla's good. Panther's good. Owl's horrible. Okay, so, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's probably like 1 star. Maybe 2 stars. Probably 1 star. Nozdormu the Eternal. So 7 mana, 8/8 stats, and it enables Nozdormu mode if both players have it. Alright, time to write some flavor text. Alright, anyway, that just lost it on me. Okay, anyways, here. So 7 mana, 8/8. This is probably like a 2-star card, really. Because at this point, a 7 mana, 8/8 is not really worth it. Like, you want a lot more than just an 8/8 out of 7 mana. And that's kind of like the Blizzard philosophy. This is mainly here for Nozdormu. Okay, Stormwatcher, I don't know why that's in here. Stormwind Champion, your other minions, it got a +1/+1 buff. The card, I think it was still a decent card, and I think it's a 3-star card right now. Like, it was a high 2-star card before, now it's a 3-star card definitely. The buff here, it matters a little, but it's not that big of a deal, I would say. Like, the power is still in here, not in the stats. Arcane Devourer, this got a buff. This card still sucks. This is a 0-star card. Don't pick it. This is one of the worst cards there is. Strazza the Lifebinder. Okay, rest of these are pretty much just going to be 5-star cards. So, Strazza, 5-star card. She used to be like a high 4 card, but just because of the fact she's kind of like the card that they removed from Arena, Dragnaros. That was a card that was so powerful that they just said they are not even going to bother having it in Arena. And now you got Strazza here, who's basically Dragnaros for 1 turn, but she can also heal you. Like, she doesn't have a downside now, so she's easily 5-star card. Mally Ghost Spellweaver. If you got a lot of spells, this is probably like the worst of the new dragons, just because it doesn't do anything. But this is a 4-star card easily. Let me see here. Next one we got is Onixia the Broodmother. So previously, Onixia was a high 4-star card. Now easily 5-star card. The Shuma was a card that was like a 7-mana 1/7 that filled your board with 1/1s at the end of each turn, and that was a really powerful card. So now it's Shuma, except it's an 8/8 that does the exact same thing. And so now you have to kill this. There's a lot fewer things to like buff with the whelps, but yeah, easy 5-star card. Sleepy Dragon, just in for a giant taunt for like resurrect stuff or evolve stuff. Ysera, 5-star. This might be 6 stars. This might be the best. This might be the best card in the game now. Okay, just because you take a look at the cards here. Okay, the cards are not updated yet. Dream is going to be 1 mana. So 10 mana, you play a 4/12, and you take a big minion, you put it back in. That's by itself a 5-star. But then you have Ysera Awakens, which 3 mana blows up the entire board. Laughing Sister, then you get to refill your board with Laughing Sister and Emerald Drake, and you still have something that can go face with the Nightmare. So yeah, Ysera 5 stars, maybe 6 stars. Deathwing, like it's just a strictly better Deathwing. You don't have to hold it anymore. It's not like a pocket Deathwing. You just play it to remove something, and it just destroys it. Like, I don't know, 5 stars easily, might be 6 stars. Like, just an insane card. So those are neutrals. So you can see a lot of the cards, they got buffed, and there's like very few bad cards. Like, what are your bad cards? Your never pick cards. Clockwork Giant, Arcane Devourer, Gadgetzan Auctioneer if you don't have any spells, Grubashi Berserker. Maybe that's not going to be an arena. Maybe Toxicologist and Freebooter if you're not a weapon class. So you can see how high the power level is. Okay, so now we're going to go through cards here. Just new cards that changed or cards that came in. Okay. Corvus Bloodthorn. Charge Lifesteal after you play an Outcast card. Return this to your hand. This probably is not going to happen. I'm not even sure if that's a good thing to happen. It's a 1-star card. Don't worry about it. We go here. Gladesmith Outcast. Give your hero +3 attack this turn. This is horrible on curve. This is great if you can get it, but by the time you're able to get it to Outcast, I don't think this effect is really that good. So, like for this card, I would say it's 1 star at best. Probably I would say it's a borderline 0-star card. Let me just double check my tier list here, make sure that's about where I had. Yeah, I had it 1 star. Like, it's a powerful effect, but I just think by the time you get it, it's not going to be really that great. Warglaze Vaznov. So this one, 5-star card. Previously, it was a 5-star card, and then it got nerfed. Like, the durability hit doesn't really matter all that much. Just the fact you got 5 mana for 12 damage that you can use to clear the board and to go face if necessary makes this like an absolutely insane card. So, like, to me, no question, this card is a 5-star card. And let me see here. Even worse than that is this. Illidari Inquisitor. So, I'm going to remind you, King Crush is still in Arena for a 9 mana 8/8 charge. So, because it says enemy, this means enemy hero, which means you can hero power, and you have an 8/8 with Wind Fury, where the second Wind Fury goes face. Why? Like, why? This is like 5 stars, unquestionably, borderline 6-star card. Just, like, absolutely incredible card. Like this is one of those cards that's going to get soft banned from Arena with macro just. Like, Warglaze Vaznov, if they undo the ban, maybe. But this card, unquestionably, it's either going to get soft banned, or this is going to be changed minion. So that can't happen. And by the way, remember, if this lives on the board, it can go face, and your hero attacks face, and then it goes face again. So this is like one of the very few cards left that can just completely ruin games. All right, so that's Demon Hunter. Okay, going to Druid. Remember, Druid, they lost a lot of their spells that go face and spells to clear the board. So let's see things they got. Okay, Mark of the Wild, +2/+3. So this is a pretty large buff because that extra 1 health, that matters so much for trades. So I think ultimately this is gonna, like, this card used to be like a good card. Now it's a 4-star card, like, no question for me. Just like incredibly powerful card. This is probably might be the best. I'm not sure if it's the best buff card in the game, but it's gonna be very close. We take a look over here. What else do we have here? New card here. Nordrassil Druid. The next spell you cast this turn costs 3 less. So hey, imagine this, and then you play a Mark of the Wild on this. You don't have initiative, but you've got a 5/8 taunt on turn 4 for 2 cards. Yeah, that's pretty insane. So that's not always going to happen. I don't think it's necessarily reliable enough to happen. I'd say it's better than probably a whatchamacallit, Violet Teacher, but I don't think it's like, so it's obviously it's a 3-star card. It's a good card. You always want this card. I don't know how good this is going to be. Druid of the Claw. For Arena, like, if I were to charge it, like, being able to charge face would be really powerful, but being unable to charge face, it's like, it's actually kind of a side grade. Like, the taunt going from 4/6 to 5/6 matters, but I don't think it matters that much. Like, it's a 4-star card. Like, I'll just say it. It's 4-star card. It used to be like a 3 to 4-star card. Now it's a 4-star card. It's a buff, but it's not that much. Okay, Menagerie Warden. This is kind of a side grade. A 6 mana 5/5 or a 5 mana 4/4 doesn't really matter, especially since with the Warden, like, as we've seen in Arena, you want to Warden the 5 mana beasts. You don't really want to Warden the like, there's not 4 mana beasts where having this on 5 is going to matter. So it makes it a little bit easier to combo on turn 10, but ultimately I think this is just 3-star card. Nurse stays the same. Cenarius, going down 1 mana, it makes it a lot more powerful, a lot more likely it's going to get played in Constructed. Like, it was already a good card, and it's still going to be a good card. This is like this is like borderline 5-star card here. All right, going through here. Next one, Hunter. All right, Hunter. Lock and Load. Okay, remember, this adds random Hunter cards. So if you only got 1 spell, this card is still garbage. Like, because it may not add a spell card. Stampede was around for 1 mana. It added beasts so that you could keep on going. You would guarantee the effect, and it was useful sometimes, but not reliably. So this is a 0-star card. It's not pickable in Arena. Tracking is the exact same. Like, discover your card from your deck it's the exact same in Arena, so it's the same as before. I'm not even going to bother rating it. Cards back here. Selective Breeder. This is a better novice engineer. You can discover a copy of a beast in your deck. If you got the 5 mana beast, if you got the I forget the 5 mana 4/5 taunt again. But if you got that, you can pull that out. If high main, if it gets on macro adjusted, you can pull that out. So this card, I think it's going to be probably borderline 2-star to 3-star card. It's, I would say, probably 2-star card. Useful. Not the best card in the world. All right. New card. Okay, that's it. So going through these cards here. Mage. Changes here. Snap Freeze. This is still, it's like Ice Slants used to be a card that had pretty much this effect. The second part here, instead of dealing 4 damage, it would destroy it, but it couldn't freeze the face. So 0-star card. Like, it's still really not pickable in Arena, especially with a lot of the freeze stuff leaving. Alright, going through cards here. Cone of Cold. Card is better. I don't think it's all that much better. Like, going from 4 to 3, it still has the same use. You're still paying like an extra mana to deal 1 damage, so unless you got spell power with it. Like, and it's one of the whatchamacallit. It's one of the only freeze effects that Mage has. So I don't think Cone of Cold is really all that much better. I still think it's only a 1-star card right now. Let's see here. Aegwynn the Guardian. So she's similar to Lothraxian, who's a decent card in Paladin, and that she provides a permanent effect for the rest of the game. That being spell damage +2. Because pretty much unless your card gets silenced or transformed, and those basically don't exist anymore, you're always going to have a minion with spell damage. It's not always going to be on the board, but it's always going to be in your back pocket. And that's useful. That makes her, I would say, sorry, wrong thing here. I would say that's useful. That makes her better than a Stranglethorn Tiger, for example. So I'd say she's 2-star card, maybe 3-star card. I think useful. Ethereal Conjurer, this is one of those just why cards. Because it's back. And I know we have Steward of Scrolls already, but it's a Steward of Scrolls with +2 attack. You didn't care about the spell power for Steward of Scrolls. You cared about that it was a body that discovered something. And so, on the other hand, mage spells have drastically, like, the power has gone down because you still got a lot of mediocre secrets here. You've still got snap freezes and shooting stars that don't do all that much. So I think the power of the Discover has gone down, but this card, it's still an easy 4-star card. It's still a card, like it's 4-star card, it's a borderline 5-star card. It's a card you're like pretty much always going to pick. Coldwater Drake, the 1 health, it doesn't change the card. It was a useful card. It's going to be just like basically 3-star card because sometimes it can just win games by itself. Flame Strike, 6-star card, no question. The important thing is this, the rarity change. So instead of being common, it's epic, which means Flame Strike is going to appear much less than it has in Arena. But here's one key thing about Flame Strike. If we go to Arena, I actually had this open because I was looking this up. We go here, Arena, deck win rate, wrong way, class cards. No Flame Strike. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You see down here, this is where Flame Strike is. This is where the current power level is. This is what Flame Strike has kind of became. Like, it's overpicked, but you can see like how many cards are ahead of Flame Strike right now in Arena just because of the recent sets. So the buff, like it's just a meta where Flame Strike is not the greatest card in the world, and if it's going to be a meta of big cards, Flame Strike, it may just only be a 5-star card, even though it got buffed. All right, running to the next cards here, we have got Paladin. Secrets coming back in here. Reckoning. So the flavor text here, I remember this because I was playing WoW in the day. The old Reckoning used to be that every time you got hit, you got a chargeable weapon. And basically, the person here, Casimir, was a person who he managed to, in a duel, just not attack. And he got like an infinite number of Reckoning charges. And he one-shot Kazakh, who was a world boss at the time, which changed the Reckoning skill forever, basically. But here it's basically the same thing. Secret, after enemy deals 3 or more damage, destroy it. So it encourages, number 1, it encourages trading. Number 2, encourages, so I think that makes it good, but I don't think it's going to be all that great because you can just not attack. And you can probably figure out what the secret is because you have Noble Sack, so you're going to test for that first, usually with something small. Usually something small to test for Noble Sack. And then if it's an Avenge, you're going to want to try to trade something in so your big guy can take out the Avenge target. And then usually after that happens, he'll destroy. I'm not sure if this triggers if your minion dies. So like after a minion deals 3 more damage. If you deal 3 damage and it kills something, I'm not sure if the secret still triggers, like how that would work. So I think 2-star card. I don't think it's like all that great. Holy Light. You gain 2 extra health. That means nothing. 0-star card. Pursuit of Justice. Interesting card here. So for a 2-mana card, you want to get about 5 stats. Which means for this, you would need to summon 5 Silverhand recruits throughout the game just to even it out. Really, you need to summon a lot more because you're giving up immediate tempo for this. So you're probably like 8, 10 Silverhand recruits throughout the game before this really begins to have a massive impact. So overall, because of that, I think it's 1 star at best, maybe 0 stars. Just because if people have fewer 2-drops, then this won't hurt as much. But I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not sold on the card. Equality. So equality at 3 mana. Quality used to be great, now it's like mediocre, so this is just going to be okay. So I would say a quality, probably 2-star card. Like, nothing special there. Warhorse Trainer. It used to be playable even as a 2/4 because of the effect. Now it's a 3/4, which means it's really good on curve, which means it's really good if you hero power on 2 plus into this. I think that's going to be good. I don't think that's going to be like. Did I put it in? Why did I put Warhorse? I'm looking at my thing here. Why did I put Warhorse Train the wrong thing? I think it's going to be probably a 4-star card, just because of how the effect is a lot more powerful right now. Because you're going to have Day at the Fair, which is going to be in for a while, and you got Stand Against Darkness. The 3/4 body plus the effect plus like different things, like if you have a Pursuit of Justice plus this, it can snowball really, really powerful. So I think this is like a 3 to 4-star card. Blessing of Kings, Consecrate, Guardian of the Kings, the other change here. So Taunt, Battlecry, restores 6 health to your hero. 7 mana for a good taunt would be something like a Furious Etten, a 5/9, or a Bog Creeper at a 6/8, or a Bone Chewer Vanguard at a 4/10. So this one, the 5/7, it's an okay body, but it's not a great body. It restores 6 health to your hero. That's useful, but I think Arena is going to transition to a much more board-centric game. So I'm not sure how much value to restore health to your hero is. So I think it's definitely not bad. I think it's a 3-star card, but I don't think it's like game-breaking or anything like that. All right, going with the cards here. All right, we go here to Priest. Crimson Clergy. This is a worse Light Warden. Like, it has 3 attack. It has 3 health, but number 1, it only matters for friendly characters, which means you can't like have a Shaman Healing Totem allow this to work. Number 2, it only gains 1 attack. So I think this is just a 1-star card. Focused Will. This is, I would say, 1 star. Yeah, probably 1 star. So you already had Power Word Shield, which gave a minion 2 health. So the problem is silencing it and giving it 3 health for 1 mana is a lot worse than just giving something 2 health. Where this is useful is you might need this to silence an enemy minion. And just that, like the 3 health probably won't matter, but just being able to silence an enemy minion to stop an effect, I think that's enough to make it a 1-star card, even at the cost of giving them health. Like, for example, you put this on a Basilisk. Then you just, like, a 1/4 Basilisk is significantly worse. A 1/4 Basilisk is significantly worse than a 1/1 Divine Shield that can kill 2 things. Alright, going through cards here. Shadowform's back. Problem here is we have seen cards like this before, where it changes your hero power to permanently deal 2 damage. We saw that in Hunter, we saw that in Mage. Like, even those cards did not really do anything, so this is a 1-star card. Thrive in the Shadows. This is a slightly worse version of Shadow Visions. Discover spell in your deck, which means you get that spell. You don't get a second copy of it. So you probably want to discover something big in your deck. So if you discover your powerful spell and it's gone from your deck. So decent card. I would say it's still a 2-star card, just like Shadow Visions, but nothing special there. Light Spun. I think this is a little bit better than it was at 4 mana. So at 4 mana, it's a lot slower. It's a lot more time for the board to develop so that you can have things to knock it down. Here at 3 mana, a 3 mana 4/4 I would say is arguably better than a 4 mana 5/5. And it's a lot easier to like do combos with it. The problem is that there aren't really that many health buff combos. Like, you got the Chaplain, you got the Temple Enforcer, you got Power Infusion, but there aren't that many health buff combos with it. So yeah, I think Lifespawn, pretty good card, 2-star card, better than it was. Shadowed Spear, a death ray, will deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. This is just boring. 1-star card. Like, this is the kind of stuff right now that you don't want in your deck. Like, this does not do enough in your deck. Rest of the cards stay the same. We go over to Rogue. All right, Rogue did not get that many changes here. Like, a lot of these cards are from the old sets. Here, Vanessa Van Cleef, 2 mana 2/3. Add a copy of the last card your opponent played to your hand. You can play it on. Obviously, you can play it on 2 as a 2-drop. You really don't want to do that. In the late game, this is 2 mana 2/3, generate a random card. Is this better than a wand maker? I say no. I would rather have a wand maker because of its ability to be played on 2. Is Vanessa Van Cleef a bad card? No, she's a 2-star card. She's a 2-star card mostly because you can't really play her on 2 and get this effect. So in the late game, she becomes a lot better, but I would rather have the immediate tempo of something that would give you something over her. Because remember, a wand maker is only about a 3-star card, so I think she's probably 2. All right. Assassin's Blade. I would argue this is worse in Arena than the other one. 0-star card, don't pick this. This is better if you have weapon buffs like the Nitro Boost Poison or the Deadly Poison, arguably. But I think for Arena, just the reliability of a 3-4 weapon, a 2-5-2 doesn't do enough. 3 attack does something, 2 attack doesn't do anything. 0-star card, don't pick it. Assassinate. So it was a good card before. It's a better card now, but still not insane. It's a 4-star card. Like, yeah, this is your hard removal now, so we're going to see this a lot more. Sprint. Knocking this down to 6 doesn't really change it that much. Like, it's still, the problem is still like how heavy the card is. Like at 6 mana to draw whatever, you're probably not going to be able to use it that much. So I think it's a 2-star card, but I don't think this like really makes the card all that insane. All right. So Rogue, we go quickly here. What we got 3 classes left: Shaman, Warrior, and Roll. Okay, Shaman here. We got Novice Zapper. So before we had Totem Golem. Totem Golem was a 1 mana 3/4, and that was like a 2 to 3-star card. So this one, a 1 mana 3/2, is much worse than a 3/4, and the spell damage does not make up for it. So I think with Totem Golem, it's probably with Novice Zapper, it's going to be like 1-star card. It's like a little bit. I would say it's a little bit better than the average 2-drop, which is like the borderline 1 to 2 stars. But I think it's not going to be that great. It's going to be just a little bit better than like the baseline 2-drop. All right, we go through here. Feral Spirits, like Feral Spirits by themselves, they were still powerful. So this is I would say 4-star card here. Like just the losing 1 overload really makes it really matters a lot. And yeah, the problem is you're going to lose a lot of your like things that buff the Feral Spirits. Lightning Storm, not having to worry about the whatchamacallit, the Wrath of Air Totem. Just makes it I would say 5-star card easily now. It used to be about 4 stars, now it's about 5 stars, just because you can reliably get this and you don't have to rely on RNG. That's a great thing for it. We get through the rest of these cards here. Earth Elemental Overload doesn't really change it all that much. I think it's obviously still a 4-star card. It's obviously a really good card. The Overload wasn't the problem. The problem was if it got hard removed. Fire Elemental, this is one of those just like why? Like, I get it. This is a 6-star card. This was the best Shaman card. Like we can go over here, Shaman. Remember here, Fire Elemental is a 102. There is Whack-A-No Hammer is a 102. So the only card better than Fire Elemental was Serpent Shrine Portal. And Fire Elemental got buffed. So yeah, this is easily 5 stars, 6. Like it was 5 stars before. It's probably 5 stars. I'm not sure if it's 6 stars now, but it's just insane. Last one here, Alakir. The 1 health, I don't think the 1 health really matters. Like it's still, thing here. Like Alakir is still a good card. I don't think the 1 health matters. 4-star card, 4 to 5-star card, just like a solid card. We go here. Next cards we have got a Warlock. So Warlock, going into cards here. Ritual of Doom. Problem with this card is, number 1, you need to have 5 minions, which is possible. But more importantly, number 2, you need to actually destroy one of those minions. So if you destroy a 1/1, you only get +4/+4 for a 0-mana effect, which is powerful. But the problem with that is that like it's not reliable enough. So I think overall, Ritual Doom, it's a decent card if you can get it off, but I don't think it's reliable. I would say it's 0, borderline 1 stars. Drained Soul, Lifesteal. Now it's buffed up to 3 damage. So with this, it makes it a lot more powerful of a removal. This is an easy 3-star card, but Lifesteal matters. So yeah, just a solid card you want to take. Void Terror. So for whatever reason, I looked at Hearth Arena. Void Terror was rated lower than the generic 3-mana 3/3s. It was a 3-mana 3/3 that could become a giant minion. And I imagine the reason for this is that people would play either, number one, not want to play the Void Terror because they did not want to eat one of the big things on the board, or two, they would play the Void Terror and they would play something else and they would get a big card, and 2 cards become 1 card, and then that 1 card would get removed by 1 card, and then it wouldn't matter. So, by that logic, this is worse than a Spider Tank, by what Hearth Arena has done. And I imagine if I go over, I'm actually gonna do this. I don't know this right now, but I'm gonna go to Warlock. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna turn on 3-mana cards here. So if I say, so what's 3-mana 3/4 that's in Arena? I'm just gonna take a look here. Something will prop up. So now you can take, I'll just see, where's Void Terror? Void Terror? Okay, so you can see here, Void Terror is like a 49.6% deck win rate. It shows up. This is in Arena. Do I have anything else here? No, it's Arena. So it's Void Terror 49.6, and you take a look. Right here, maybe if I do this, make it easier. All right, 48.4. So you can see Void Terror, for whatever reason, it performs significantly worse for whatever reason it is. Okay, like here, Educated Out. That's an example. That's 3/4. I don't know why that performs so bad. Probably people will just do that. But you can see that for whatever reason, people cannot play with a Void Terror properly, and because like in stats-based stats are going to show it's going to be worse than that. So if we take a look, so a Spider Tank is basically a 2-star, 1 to 2-star card. So Void Terror going to be lower than that, probably like a moderate 2-star card. Illidari Felsoul. Discard your 2 lowest cost cards. Having played enough discard Warlock in Arena, this is not that much better. Like, you can say your low cost cards are garbage cards, but you're still discarding 2 cards. Like, even if you're discarding 2 1-drops for a 3/8, you still need to get those cards back. So I don't think it really changes the card. The card, it was never all that good. I think it's still like a 1-star card at best. Felsoul Jailor. This might cause your opponent to like not be able to do something, like not be able to play a taunt or play like a Smug Senior that they wanted to play. I think it's slightly better than a Spiteful Smith. So we're talking like a borderline 2-star card, not really all that great. Siphon Soul. The mana from 6 to 5, it matters. I don't think it matters all that much at this point. Like, it's still a high 5. It was a 5-star card before. It's a 5-star card now. Let me see here. Enslaved Feldlord. So because this has to survive, the question here is this. Compare this to the Bone Chewer Vanguard. Would you rather have, if this lives, it has a cleave effect, or would you rather have Bone Chewer Vanguards if it takes damage, its attack goes up? Playing enough with Bone Chewer Vanguard, I would say most of the time, if I'm dealing damage to the Bone Chewer Vanguard, I have a way to kill it. And a lot of the time, and there's a good portion of time where I can't kill it. So I think if I can't kill it, this becomes significantly better than a Bone Chewer Vanguard. So Bone Chewer Vanguard was about a 4-star card, give or take. So this is better than that. So I'd say, yeah, this is probably better than that. This is probably a 4-star card by itself, maybe 5. I'm not sure. And then here, Lord Jaraxxus, because it became a hero power. Oh, sorry, hero card. It will no longer, unfortunately, be in Arena, but I understand why this card is what it is now. And then last bit here, we got Warrior. So we're going to cards here. Okay, Bloodsail Deckhand. The next weapon you play costs 1 less. This lasts from turn to turn. So you could play this on 1 into Fiery War Axe on 2. You can have the Dream. So I think useful effect. I don't think it's like really all that powerful. I think it's probably, you would take 1, 2 stars. I'd say 2 to 3 stars. Just because as Warrior, you're still going to draft weapons. So having this around and having this effect around is going to be pretty useful because it'll always go off. We take a look at the cards here. Oh, new card here. War Cache. Add a random warrior minion, spell, and weapon to your hand. So I don't. There was a hunter card, Hunter's Pack, which was a good card, but the problem is that it never really suited the hunter playstyle. So for warriors, the warrior playstyle, if you transition to more of like waiting for your late game bombs and kind of like a control style, this can become really powerful because it's 3 mana and 3 cards to your hand. And I think that's like a 4-star value. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I think it'll work like that. Right. Warsong Commander. I think a lot of people wanted this to happen because I remember how like one of my first angry arena posts, and I made a lot of them, was when Warsong Commander was changed to give your charge minions +1 attack because you wanted to preserve the soul of the card. And I still think that's probably the worst decision Blizzard has made in like their entire history of Hearthstone. What they did to Warsong Commander, how they made it useless, especially at a time when in Arena they could have done so much more with it. So this is obviously a really strong effect. Thing is, we already have Animated Broomstick in Arena. We know how good Animated Broomstick is, and that by itself is a mid 3-star card. So this is a lot clunkier than Animated Broomstick because it's more mana. It's worse for its stats. Sorry, it's worse on curve, and it's worse for its effect because it does not have rush, while the Broomstick had rush, and that 1/1 ping from the rush was actually really powerful. So, on the other hand, if this lives, everything has rush. So, I'm not sure if it's better. I'm going to say it's worse than Broomstick, but I could see it being better than Broomstick. In any case, it's going to be a probably high 2, low 3-star card. Warsong Outrider, replacing Kor'kron Elite, 4 and a 5/4 rush. Like this is just, it's good. Like you want to have this. This is high 3-star, maybe a 4-star card. And that is it for all the changes. So ultimately, what do I think is going to happen with Arena? I think I take a look at a lot of the cards here, and the power level, it's, as I said, the bad cards. Like if we go through and we look at the like worst cards in the core set, what's the worst card for Demon Hunter? It's probably Feast of Souls. And like that's not even bad. And like you can go back down all the cards. Like you go back, what's the worst card here? Innervate probably. And okay, Innervate's legitimately bad. Like ignoring like the combo cards for Constructed. Like ignoring Innervate and Wild Growth. Like Pounce is fine. Feral Rage is fine. Landscaping is fine. Soul of the Forest, that actually performs really well right now. And I'm not going to go through the rest of the cards because this video has gotten a little bit longer than I wanted. But for the most part, as I said, what we consider a bad card does not exist anymore. The bad cards are going to be just like your regular 2-drops, which you're just going to pick to fill in your curve. So I think overall the whole power level of Arena is going to get a lot different. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if this is going to be like, I don't know if the power level going up with the lack of control you have over deck building is going to matter enough for Arena. But I think it is going to be a completely new experience. It's going to be an experience that I don't know. I don't think anyone can fully predict the experience. I tried as much as I can here, but until you play, there's not really much you can do. All right, I will be back with another set of videos when the entire Forged in the Barrens set is out. So I will see you guys then. Leave me any comments on Reddit, and I will reply. See you later.